I stand crammed in the crowded city bus every morning, my body already exhausted from another sleepless night in my tiny apartment. The doors hiss open at the next stop and she pushes in the quiet woman from my building who always avoids eye contact in the hallway. Our arms brush as the crowd surges forward, her back pressing firmly against my chest in the sudden crush. I catch the faint scent of her vanilla shampoo mixed with the damp morning air, something sweet and clean that shouldn't affect me at all. She's just a neighbor, someone I've only nodded to in passing, but now we're strangers forced into this forbidden closeness on the packed bus. My heart stutters. This shouldn't feel like anything. Just rush hour, just bodies trying not to fall. The bus lurches forward and her hips settle back against me. I feel the warmth of her body through our thin summer clothes, my hand instinctively gripping the overhead rail to steady us both. Just a crowded bus, don't be that guy. But my pulse is already racing at the accidental intimacy of two people who barely know each other. Her breathing is soft, almost careful. I wonder if she can feel mine quickening against her shoulder blades. I shouldn't notice how perfectly she fits there. I shouldn't be memorizing the way the heat from her skin seeps through fabric like a secret I have no right to keep. Yet every small shift of the bus makes the contact linger a second longer, and my mind keeps whispering that maybe she isn't pulling away either. The next morning the same thing happens. She boards at her stop and the crowd pushes us together again, her shoulder blades against my sternum, the soft texture of her cotton blouse sliding against my shirt. We don't speak, not a word, but I start noticing how her breathing changes when the bus brakes hard and she rocks back into me. A little hitch, a quiet catch that makes the air between us feel thicker. I shouldn't be memorizing the curve of her waist. I tell myself that over and over like a prayer I don't believe. Yet every jolt feels like a secret shared between strangers who have no right to this proximity. My fingers tighten on the rail until my knuckles ache. The vanilla scent drifts up again, warmer now from the rising heat of the crowded space. It wraps around me like an invitation I keep pretending isn't there. God, what is wrong with me? She's just trying to get to work. I'm just trying not to be the creep who can't control his own thoughts. But the way her body moves with the sway of the bus, it's like we're dancing without moving, without choosing, without permission. I feel the tremor in my own chest, the shameful hunger building low and slow, the kind that makes me hate myself even as it pulls me closer. Her hair brushes my chin for half a second when we hit another pothole. So soft, so close. I hold my breath so I won't inhale her any deeper. This is wrong, she's a stranger. I'm a stranger to her. Yet here we are, pressed together like the city itself decided we needed to know exactly how the other feels. My mind races between stop and don't stop, between pull away and lean in just a fraction more. The ache spreads, quiet and relentless, turning an ordinary commute into something I already dread losing tomorrow. And then the bus slows for her stop. Her body shifts one last time against mine, warm and unyielding for that final heartbeat before the doors open. She doesn't look back. She never does. But I stand there, pulse hammering, the ghost of her vanilla scent still clinging to my shirt like a confession I can't wash away. I wonder if she felt it too. By the third morning I'm already there earlier than usual, pretending it's just habit, but my eyes keep drifting to the doorway where she always appears, heart tightening the second she steps in, umbrella still dripping from last night's rain. The bus is merciless today, bodies packed shoulder to shoulder until there's no space left for pretending. She ends up molded completely against me, back to my chest, the heat of her skin pushing through the thin fabric of her dress like a slow-burning secret. I grip the pole tighter. Her hand brushes mine when the driver slams over a pothole. Just for a heartbeat, a spark races up my arm, sharp and unexpected, and I forget how to exhale. She's only trying not to fall, I tell myself, nothing more. But that vanilla scent curls around me again, warmer now, and it settles low in my stomach, an ache I can't name and definitely can't ignore. Does she feel my heartbeat hammering against her shoulder blades? God, I hope not. I hope she does. We sway together as the bus lurches through traffic. Every small movement presses us closer, her body fitting against mine in ways that feel too deliberate for strangers. I stare at the back of her neck. at the tiny strands of hair escaping her ponytail, and my mind splits right down the middle. Pull away, you have no right. But my feet stay rooted, and the hunger keeps growing, quiet and treacherous like gravity I didn't know was pulling. By evening the routine has become something heavier, a silent ritual neither of us acknowledges. Same crowded bus, same crushing closeness as rush hour swallows the city. The air inside is stifling, thick with the day's leftover heat. Sweat makes her thin dress cling in places I shouldn't notice, and I feel every shift of her body as we move with the sway. High thoughts race with guilt that tastes like shame and want at the same time. Shess a stranger. This is wrong on every level. But the way she fits against me, it's like the bus decided we belong this close. Lights dim as we enter the tunnel. Her hair tickles my chin, soft and damp from the humidity, and for a few suspended seconds the world narrows to just that point of contact. I can hear her breathing change, a little shallower, matching the rhythm of my own. My hand hovers near her waist, not touching, but close enough that the almost feels louder than anything. Then someone pushes past from behind and the spell cracks open. She straightens a fraction. I swallow hard. The ache remains, deeper now, refusing to fade. Late that rainy night, the bus is strangely empty, yet we still stand pressed together out of some unspoken habit. Her damp coat brushes my chest, cool and heavy with the scent of rain mixed with that vanilla that's starting to haunt me. When the turn comes sharp, Shess thrown into me harder, her body colliding fully for one breathless moment. Sorry, she murmurs, voice soft and low, barely above the rumble of the engine. It's fine. I manage, but my voice comes out thick, unsteady, like I've been holding my breath for miles. Inside I'm screaming at myself to step back, to create even an inch of distance, you idiot. Shess, not yours to feel this way about. Yet the rain-scented air and the way her wet hair grazes my neck make every warning feel pointless. The moral struggle is losing ground fast. Something deeper is already taking root, quiet and relentless, wrapping around my thoughts until I can't imagine the ride without her warmth anymore. Her head tilts just slightly, as if Shess about to say something else, and my pulse spikes so hard I'm sure she must hear it. The almost moment stretches, heavy with everything we're not saying, everything we're not doing. My fingers tighten on the pole until the metal bites into my palm. One more sway of the bus and I don't know if it'll be able to keep pretending this is nothing. The rain keeps falling outside, blurring the windows, but inside the tension coils tighter, pulling us both into whatever this is becoming, and I'm terrified of how much I already don't want it to stop. The following week the bus crawls through endless traffic, delayed by some accident up ahead. She loses her balance on a sudden stop and her body leans fully into mine, no space left between us. The soft press of her against my arm steals the air from my lungs. I feel the warmth of her through the thin fabric, every tiny shift sending sparks along my skin. Our faces hover inches apart. I catch that faint vanilla again, sweet and dizzying, and my thoughts spiral wildly. What if I just lowered my head? No, Shess, not yours. This is crossing every line I promised myself I wouldn't touch. We both freeze there, breathing in the same shallow rhythm, chests rising and falling together like we've forgotten how to do it alone. The heat of her breath brushes my collarbone. I can see the tiny flutter at the base of her throat. My hand grips the overhead rail tighter, knuckles whitening, while every cell in me screams to close that last impossible distance. Pull back, you have no right, but my feet stay planted, and the hunger deepens, quiet and treacherous, like a current I can't fight. When the bus finally lurches forward, the moment fractures. She straightens a little, but not nearly enough. I swallow hard, shame flooding hot through my veins, yet the ache lingers, refusing to let go. Now every ride carries hidden motives I can't admit even to myself. I find myself scanning the platform earlier each morning, heart kicking up when I spot her familiar silhouette. Does she time her commute to match mine? The way she doesn't pull away when the crowd pushes us together. Does it mean something? Or am I losing my mind, turning ordinary strangers into something secret and forbidden? Jealousy flickers sharp and ugly when another man stands too close to her one afternoon, his arm brushing hers as the bus sways. I fight the sudden urge to shift my own body between them, to shield her with my presence like she belongs under my protection. This is insane. Shess, a stranger on a bus, Nothing more, but the growing obsession twists everything. Ordinary stops start to feel like slow, deliberate foreplay. Each accidental brush of her shoulder against my chest becomes a fresh betrayal of my self-control. I tell myself to stop noticing. I tell myself harder. The words dissolve the second her scent finds me again. One sweltering afternoon, the air conditioning fails completely. The inside of the bus turns into an oven, thick and humid, sweat licking our skin wherever we touch. She shifts her weight to keep steady, and for one heartbeat her thigh slides between mine. The sensation hits like electricity racing straight through me. My pulse hammers so loud I'm sure the whole bus can hear it. Stop this now. You have no right to feel any of this. Yet the vanilla mixed with the warmth of her skin and the damp heat between us pushes me right to the edge of no return. I'm trembling with the effort not to react visibly. Jaw clenched, eyes fixed on the window like it can save me. Her breathing has changed again, quicker, matching the frantic beat of my own. The fabric of her dress clings from the sweat, and I feel every contour of her pressed close, alive and impossibly warm. This is wrong. She doesn't even know my name. But God, the pull is stronger than gravity, dragging me under with every shared sway of the bus. She turns her head just slightly, as if sensing the storm inside me, and our eyes meet for a split second. Something raw flickers there, or maybe I'm only imagining it because I need it so badly. My fingers tighten on the rail until they ache. One more shift and I don't know if I can keep pretending this is nothing but a crowded ride home. The traffic crawls on, slow and merciless, and the tension coils even tighter around us, both leaving me breathless with how little I want to break free. The weekend drags like a fever I can't shake, but Friday night finally arrives, the city lights smearing across rain-slicked windows as I board the last crowded bus home. Wedged near the back, cheeks flushed from whatever drink or two she's had after work. Her usual crisp posture has softened, body melting back against the crush of strangers with a looseness that steals my breath. I end up pressed right behind her again, the familiar vanilla scent wrapping around me like a secret I never asked for. The bus sways through the dark streets, and her movements grow even looser, hips shifting with the rhythm as if the alcohol has melted every careful inch of distance we've maintained. Her hand drifts up to the overhead rail, fingers hovering so close to mine that our skin almost brushes, warmth radiating between the tiny gap. This is dangerous, the thought pulses through me, desire drowning out every scrap of morality I've clung to all week. A faint song leaks from her earbuds, slow and sensual, bass thrumming low like it's listening with the shared heat between us. We're teetering so close to something irreversible, the kind of edge that makes my chest tighten until breathing feels like surrender. I tell myself to pull away, to create even a sliver of space, but the crowd won't allow it, and neither will the aching hunger that's been building ride after ride. Her back rests firmer now against my front, the thin fabric of her blouse carrying the lingering warmth of her skin straight through to me. Sends a fresh wave of that electricity crackling where we touch. My mind fractures between stop this now and don't you dare move, the internal war leaving me dizzy, ashamed, and utterly alive in the worst way possible. She's just a stranger, I repeat silently, yet here in the dim light her presence feels like the only real thing in my world. Then the bus brakes hard in the sudden arc stretch between stops, tires screeching against wet pavement. She turns slightly in the violent crush, her body twisting just enough that our faces nearly meet. Lips hover a breath apart, her eyes widening with the same forbidden tension that has me frozen. For one suspended second everything hangs in the balance, the vanilla scent overwhelming, bodies locked in silent confession as the world outside blurs away. My hand twitches toward her waist, fingers itching to cross that final line, to anchor us both in this moment we've been circling for days. But the doors hiss open at her stop with a cruel mechanical sigh. She pulls away abruptly, the absence hitting like cold air rushing in. "Good night," she murmurs without looking back, voice soft and hurried, slipping into the night before I can even form a reply. I'm left standing there amid the thinning crowd, heart pounding against my ribs, the lingering warmth of her body and that haunting vanilla scent mocking every restrained inch of me. The bus pulls away, carrying me forward into empty space where she had been, the almost kiss echoing louder than any words could. Tomorrow the crowded bus will bring us together again, strangers pressed close in the same aching, forbidden tension. And I'll board it anyway, knowing the pull will only grow deeper, unresolved and relentless.